Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a gold support player. It's going to be a bit of Lucio, Bap, Anna, but we're going to call this Lucio. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. Or if you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all that good stuff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Okay, so let's get some frames, please. So here we are.
Defend
And are we set up for a 5-second rewind? We are. Good.
Feel the healing beat. Here, let's pick it up.
How many do they play? I think it's just 3, but they jump around quite a bit. Okay. Can we please go speed? Like, you don't need heals to get through here. You need to catch up on this push. Your Reinhardt went in hard. You understand that you need to catch up. No one's even looking at you. You're at full health. No one's looking at your teammates with you either, like this Hanzo. You need to be on speed, getting in yourself or helping your Hanzo get in. There's no reason for you to be on heals right now. Why did you crossfade? Why don't we shoot at things? Because we're coming over here to peel, to make sure that, okay, well, I guess we absorbed that sleep jar for her. Sure.
I am loving this. Oh, coming up.
Again, I don't really see the purpose of this amp. Like, you don't have a good enough reason to believe that you need to amp heals right now. Look at the missing health. The total missing health on your team is one person missing like 100 health, 120 health. It's not a great reason to amp. You're generally looking to amp heals to help stabilize your team sort of after the other team made a good play or your team made a mistake, and you're sort of trying to amp heals to not let the opponents capitalize on it further. You're giving up your amp to do so, which creates its own openings, but you're sort of going, I'm trying to sacrifice my amp to have us not get punished for either a mistake or an opening that was already made. This isn't really a mistake or an opening on your team's part. Your team wanted to be over here. Your Ryan went and made this play. That might have been a mistake. Okay, stay away. Why are you walking back towards him? You win. You win against this Winston at range. You just go, you know, sonic shots from your weapon. Like, why are you walking back towards him when you could be riding away from him, shooting at him? There's no reason to walk into the lightning. Don't walk towards the lightning, Lucio.
I am rocking this objective.
Gold, yes. It's not a game without Ryan charging off the map. That's true. That's true.
Objective A captured. New defense point. Objective B.
Okay. So, why did we use speed to get up here? Why didn't we use speed to get up here? We were just traveling through the open by ourselves. I see that this Hanzo is low health over here. So it would have been totally fine to use speed to get to the Hanzo, where we then could have swapped heals. Wouldn't amp, but we could have swapped heals. I also have no idea why we're amping speed here. Like, we should have used speed to get here, regular speed. Then we should have used regular heals to heal up our Hanzo. There's no reason to be amping speed here. Our Hanzo's not ready to push. This isn't the dangerous part. Why are we amping speed?
Oh, yeah.
This is like a pokey phase that's going on. This isn't real. Why am I putting amp on a 12-second cooldown here? Oh, there your Hanzo goes. I don't want to push into this. I don't want to push into this at all. I know that there's something up here that I could have potentially rolled around on my skates and booped off. That's what we wanted to do. Level 41 Gyarados. Okay, that's a name. You know, roll around here, come around here, hit your boop to knock them down. That's what we're looking to do. We're not looking to just jump in the middle here and get zapped by the Winston again. Okay. That wasn't great. That was never going to knock him down. Speed, speed. Excuse me. When I'm saying speed here, that's a mistake. That's a verbal mistake on my part. Your team's not using speed for anything, so go heals. Just chill here. Just chill in this corner using heals. They're just stabilizing. They're just stabilizing. Are you leaving? Oh, now we're leaving. Now we can be on speed. Sure. Why? Why did you hit that crossfade? Okay. Now you want speed for him, desperately. You can't help him with heals, especially without amp heals. So just be speed. Be on the wall so that you aren't getting zapped by the Winston. You can get away from the Winston faster on the wall. It's a long kite. Okay, do you recognize that this push is over? Do you recognize that this push is over? Go taxi people. Go taxi people. Go back to spawn and taxi people. You do not have a push here, so it's your job as Lucio to make the next push happen as soon as possible by getting your people back at spawn up to here again. Does Lucio see health and speed opposite on his screen? Does it feel like it? Why? This is not a thing. You don't just stand in the open and jump back and forth in the choke shooting at them. Like, your poke is not that good. Like, yes, it's important to get beats. Yes, it's important to get your poke work done. But not so important that you stand here or jump back and forth here letting Winston zap you instead of going and retrieving teammates. And again, if you didn't like that they were, like, if they're already paying attention in that direction, zapping your ball, shooting at your ball, you don't go out there to take shots that were meant for your ball. That's not what you do. You could break the plane higher up here to shoot, or if you were going to break the plane, it could be with a boop to be like, I'm just doing this to boop to stop you from following my ball, and then I'm immediately going to leave, or immediately going to ride my way up to here, where I'm going to shoot from a cross angle. But I'm not just tanking it in the middle here. Why does Blight Lucio? This video should pop up when Googling that? Yeah, it should. Leave! Leave! Please! You have so lost this fight. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Leave! Leave! Stop it! Like, I don't even want to micro this fight because you just shouldn't be in this fight. Yeah.
Oh, time to accelerate. Check this out.
Reddit checklist, solo beat, enemy spawn camp, throwing, trying to get any eliminations. Okay. You done. It's over. It's over. Maybe you watch streamers and you see that in GM games, just because they lose someone when they're attacking Volskaya second like this, they don't give up their attack. They continue to make their push with 5. Maybe you've seen that, and it's led you to the belief that that's the way to play the game. There's more going on there that you don't understand, if that's what you've seen and that's what's causing you to try to go in like this after your Mercy's already gone. What's going on in those situations is they have already earned the space. They've got control of this. They've got control of this. They've went and taken positioning already, and they've decided that their positioning is good enough, and the amount of time and effort it takes to re-earn that good positioning is expensive, and if they try to back off, they're going to get punished in the open when they back off anyways by a good enemy team. I promise you're not going to get punished if you try to back off with 5 in this situation, and I promise your positioning was not good enough for you and your team to continue this push when you lost your Mercy. So just leave. Like, you going in is one of the things that is pulling your team in more to keep doing this, to keep feeding the opposing team. You are not going to win these 5v6s very regularly. You're simply not. Or the 4v6s, which is what most of the last fight that you just did was. You haven't really made a good 6-person push on the point yet, and, we're starting to run out of time. We got first in one push. Now we've been on second for a bit. We're starting to run out of time because we've had long, drawn-out fights where we've been down people the whole time, but we've kept throwing our reinforcements at it. Instead of you just leaving, trying to pull your teammates out, and even if they don't pull out, then going and grouping them with your aura control, you can control how quickly your team gets back into the fight with your speed. And you can go, okay, well, if they're trickling in one at a time, I'm simply not going to give them speed until it looks like by using my ability to give them speed, I can get a good group of 6 people to go in, a good group of 5 people to go in, that kind of thing. But you are like one of the most active people at going in when you're down people right now. This is terrible. Okay, why aren't we on speed? I wanted to get through here faster. I did not want healing. I wanted to get out of here faster. And now I'm gonna... Oh, you don't have your boob. Oh, you do have your boob. Thank you. Good. Now you can be on heals, but why weren't we on speed up until now?
Oh, turn it up.
You're not gonna win. Okay, here's your moment. Are you gonna try to turn this? No. Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, let's break it.
Nope, too early. You still have mines on the field. You don't want to be stacking your ults that are helping you. You want to be staggering them. You sort of want to go one ult, then the other. You still have mines, not a ton, but mines on the field that are helping this. You've forced them off the point. Once these mines go away, or once you're not getting value from them, or once someone's actually in trouble, you could beat. But these guys haven't made a coordinated re-push onto the point yet. You want to beat when they try to make their coordinated re-push onto the point to break their push onto the point. Or you beat to save someone who messes up and gets caught. But we don't just beat to be like, well, now I think it's time to beat. No, why is it time to beat? What's causing it to be time to beat? Are they making a re-coordinated push with like 4 or 5 people onto the point? Are they coming back onto point with their own people for the recontest? Is someone on your team about to go down to a pulse bomb, a self-destruct, a Rhine pin, anything of the sort? The answer to all of these questions is no, so we shouldn't be beating. Why? You're amping heals after just giving your team 700 temporary health. They weren't missing health before. There is a situation in which you heal them under their beat. They get low health, you save someone with beat, and then because multiple people are missing health, you amp heals. But the overwhelming majority of the time, you are not amping heals when you've just given everyone an extra 700 HP. We're not doing it. Often we're amping speed after a beat, but we'd have had to hit our beat at the right time for that to matter. Why are you not shooting at the Ana? You're reloading with half your clip. Please shoot at the Ana. Please shoot at the Ana. Oh, look! When the defenders did manage to get enough people on the point, they popped ults and wiped you. Sure would have been nice to have beat for that. Sure would have been nice to have beat for that. It's almost like there's a certain tempo to Overwatch, and what happens if the attackers get a first wave of success on capping second point on 2 CP maps is that the defenders sort of regroup and push back in a organized manner with multiple people using ults. They sort of fade back to weather the ults that the attackers have to use to get onto point into the first place, which your team did, or the good initial neutral that the attackers used to get on point in the first place, whatever the case may be, and then they re-push back in with their own ults. And it's almost like you need to either contest them out here to not let that happen, or as they push back in, you have to have an ult to absorb their aggression back in. It's almost like you did have that ult. You did. But you didn't use it then. You used it early. All that and not even a tick is right. The defenders continue to dump ults into a fight they would win anyways, and he still doesn't just back off. Yep.
Nothing's gonna stop. Let's get you healed up.
Excuse me?
Nothing's gonna stop.
So you're up here not taxiing,
Let's get you healed up.
and we're amping heals when we're missing 40 health and a mercy beam is attached to us. Whatever for. Literally whatever for. Okay, there goes our biggest cooldown. Speed and leave. Speed and leave. Speed and leave. Speed and leave. Why? Why are we reloading? We could have turned around and whatever. Mm-hmm. Speed, 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 speed! Okay. You just created an advantage. You just created an advantage. Great. Your team took down their Winston. We have an advantage. So what do we do when we have an advantage? Well, we look to consolidate our advantage. What's our best tool for consolidating our advantage? It's our speed aura. If we had a bunch of weak people, we might stabilize for a moment, but we don't. So let's instead use the fact that they just lost someone to go speed so that we can take space aggressively while they're down someone, while they don't have full numbers to contest us. Again, it would be fine to stabilize with healing if your team needed it, but they don't. Speed, aggression, you just earned space. They lost a player, they can't hold what they have as well.
Everyone heal up.
Why are we amping heals here? Like, your team is missing more health here, mostly because they didn't push, in part because you weren't on speed, but they're back here missing health, where you're not helping them. It's annoying that your team isn't pushing harder, but, like, speed might have helped with that. Or if they just refuse to push, you can swing around, you can slide around, and you can boop people in. You can't boop the Fortified Orisa right now, but you could have threatened this earlier to get Fortify earlier from the Orisa, and then after Fortify, you could boop the Orisa or someone else in, or you could have booped the Genji in. All sorts of good options. You have a lot of initiation control as Lucio. That's why Lucio tends to be one of the better initiation callers. Your initiation callers in organized play tend to either be your main tank or your main support, and much of the reason for that is Lucio controls speed, he can boot people in, like, he can see what's going on. He's pretty good at making initiation happen for a team. But you're throwing it away. Mm-hmm. Cool. I don't know why we reloaded at 15 there, and now we're reloading again. Okay. Go up and over. Fine. Fine. Great. Sure.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
For what? For what? You have a Valk and a minefield on the point. You're safe. You're safe. You're safe. And you have a visor going so the opponents are going to retreat for cover. Like, what is this beat? What is this beat for? The opponents would have to punch through your Valk and your minefield to take players down on your team, and they're running for cover right now because you have a visor going. And you think now is a good time to beat. And he clearly visored before you pressed this Q. This wasn't like, oops, we hit the button at the same time. And even if he wasn't visoring, you still wouldn't use beat here. Any one of these would be enough. Maybe with visor, I might beat to protect his visor in some situations. Okay, in some situations I would beat to protect his visor. You're really not going to come up with, like, unless we're sitting, unless my team just got hit by a shatter, my team is in a grab, you know, my team, like, unless my team actually is getting hit by an ult right now, or by something that's very lethal, I'm not popping beat when I already have these two going. That's wild.
This is my jam.
I never want to see that beat again. Never.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
Temporal at this point when Lucio looks around and sees that Ryan isn't Ryan anymore, and there's not much benefit for speed. Tracer doesn't need it. 76 does it himself. Should he switch? I don't know at which point that was specifically, but... Oh, should he switch heroes or switch auras? So if you mean should he switch auras when, hey, his Rhine doesn't need it anymore, Tracer doesn't need it, his partner support, yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have been on Lucio the whole time because it was Lucio Mercy as the support line, and Lucio Mercy as a support line is painful in most situations. You can run it in a couple situations where you're intentionally running like a pharmacy and a bunch of other undivable heroes. There's a small place that you can get away with it like that, but in general, it is one of the worst support lines that there is. And there wasn't enough synergy to justify staying on Lucio if your other person is hard blocking Mercy. That said, you know me, I don't mind if people want to one-trick their hero to practice to learn their hero. That doesn't really make sense for this player because I know that they're now going to play other heroes. So if you're willing to play other heroes, you shouldn't have been playing Lucio in the last round. That said, most important thing for you, Lucio, you have to fix these beats. You have to fix these beats. You can't just beat cuz. You can't just use beat because you feel like it, because you feel like your team should be taking damage. You have to go, hey, I'm beating to counter something big, a pin, a pulse bomb, a self-destruct, something, someone who's getting chunked down and is about to go down. You can beat to save lives, and that's the best use of beat. That's the defensive use of beat. Like, hey, my team got shattered. I beat to cover them. Those are going to be your best beats. You can also beat aggressively, though. You can beat to sustain a push. It would be a, hey, we go in, we brawl hard, knowing that we have beat, and then we beat to continue our aggression, to protect our aggression. But we can aggress without the beat, and then we're still sort of using it as a defensive beat. We just played more aggressively than we normally would because we knew we had the beat in our pocket. So it's still sort of a defensive beat that you've turned into an offensive beat, but your condition for using it is really much the same. Like, hey, I'm about to lose someone, or I'm in danger of losing someone if I don't beat, so I'll beat. But you have to recognize what the pushback in timings look like. You have to actually have people in danger, in threats to use your beats. You can't just go, well, I feel like the enemy should push us, so I'm going to beat. Well, they're not, so don't. Until they actually push you. That's how it works. It's really important that you get that right and you're not just throwing away your beats. Your speed versus heal aura is also just all wrong. Please use speed to make sure that your team capitalizes on advantages. That means, hey, I'm using speed to support my team when they ult. I'm using speed to help my team break chokes. I can also use boops to help my team break chokes. I'm using speed myself to get away, to go through dangerous areas. And then maybe I swap back to heals to stabilize, to give everyone aura healing. But I want to use my speed for the initiation. After we get an advantage, hey, we're using an ult. Hey, we got to pick. Things like that. I generally want to go speed unless my team really needs me to stabilize. And I just need to pay more attention to what my team needs for that aura to have value. Remember, your heal aura isn't all that powerful. Speed is actually the much better aura. The problem that you run into is you still use a fair amount of healing aura because you would like to get your ult, ever, and there are situations where speed isn't really helping, so you sort of rest on heals, like the poke phase. If your team is just poking at the choke back and forth in a 6v6 and not really doing anything, sure, give them the aura healing. Or if you've wiped out the other team, forced them all off of point, sure, get a couple ticks of aura healing in, and then swap back to speed when the opponents come in. Like, that's how we're looking to play Lucio. Okay.
Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Okay, we're on to Anna. Old McDonald had a Lucio and overname was his heal. Overhe. Loverhe.
I shouldn't overstay.
Yeah, I know they don't need beat. I know they don't need speed blow. I know, it's painful. Okay, but now we're on a different hero, and this is a little better. I'd have been okay being Zen, but you're Anna for your Reinhardt, really just for your Reinhardt, but okay.
1.
If nobody told this Lucio. Okay.
Defend objective A.
We don't want to be too mean. Like, Lucio is a little bit of hard of a hero to understand. But yeah, those were painful beats to watch. Those were very painful.
Name.
Okay.
Where does it hurt?
Not sure why you shot the Ash.
Der Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei.
Sure. Okay. You were a little in the open there. No, not even close. Sure. Tuck left, tuck left, tuck left, tuck left. What are you doing?
Your support has arrived. Where does it hurt? Next time.
Have you heard about cover? It's pretty cool. If you get shot at, what's your cover? If you get shot at, what's your cover? If you get shot at, what's your cover? If you get shot at, where are you going for cover right now? Are you gonna run over here? Are you gonna run back here? Those are both more than a second. Are you gonna run over here? Like, all of these are more than a second and a half to get to something resembling cover. Why would you stand here? This is a perfectly valid place to stand. This is a perfectly valid place to stand. This is a less good place to stand. But, like, if you're working your way towards this place or this place, so be it. But you clearly didn't. You had all the time in the world to tuck in here, and you chose to keep going this way. But then you stopped and you hung out here. You didn't keep rotating to here. Why? Why are you just existing right here? This isn't getting you anything. It's just making you more vulnerable. You should be comfortable with, like, cover taking up 40% of your screen. That's Anna. Totally comfortable. You're not any safer here. Oh, look, ball jumps you and you have nowhere to go. You're completely reliant on hitting your abilities to survive here. Oh, look, we're just in the open. I don't really like that nade. You had to. Yeah, you're weaker than I thought. I hate it, but you're quite weak. I wanted to greed harder and get someone with my nid and myself, like even just have a chance of getting someone, but you're at 49 health, it's fine. Your positioning is still just in the middle of the point. You're hopping for no reason. There's not a good reason to be hopping if you're hip firing like that.
Old soldiers are hard to kill.
Jumping is not cover. Jumping is not cover.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
This is the equivalent of button mashing in a fighting game? Kind of. Okay, let's see if they settle down once they're out of the fight. Okay. I don't like that you drifted here for no reason. This is better. What? Yeah, that was not the path to hit it. I mean, I don't mind. It's kind of mechanics. It's not totally mechanics, but it's kind of mechanics to hit the sleep dart on that monkey. You're just decision making on where you sent that was really poor. Okay, you're doing this. Why are we dropping? I don't have any cooldowns. The ball's down there. Why am I dropping down to here without any cooldowns? Why am I dropping down in general? Like, my old spot was fine. The Winston's down. The ball's busy. I was pretty safe up there. Why am I here? Bet you'd have been safe from that Reaper on high ground.
I'm not ready to hang it up. I'm feeling young again.
What? Seriously? I don't want to get any closer to this fight. There's lots of scary blue things. I can see the lightning, I can see the mercy beam, I can see the tracer, I can see that my team is low health. I don't want to walk onto point. At all. Like, yes, I can understand why you might want to walk here to try to heal your teammates, but I just don't care that much about them. I value my own life much more highly than them. I am perfectly happy going, I'm going to play from here, heal my tracer, heal my ball when he goes past, and we're going to do just fine. And if enemies walk onto the point, I can shoot them before they get to me. They walk onto the point, they're in my sight line, I can shoot them, I can soften them up, so if they then come after me, they're already weak. I am not, I repeat, not going to run onto point, use my ability that is one of the best things in the game for defending myself on my teammates over here. I just don't care about them that much. I'm putting myself in extreme danger by walking in front of a Winston and Mercy, walking at a Reaper. Now I have to hit the sleep on the Reaper or he definitely eliminates me. And even if he does, the Mercy boosted Winston can probably take me out and there's literally nothing I can do about it because I've already spent my nade.
Healing in hand.
Oh, I missed my sleep. I just get eliminated. Fortunately, that Reaper happened to be reloading right then, but you weren't counting his shots. And the Mercy probably isn't damage boosting the Winston, and the Winston got distracted and went after other people. That was so incredibly dangerous for so little return. Like, yes, you could have hit the sleep, and that would have been like, oh, it's less bad, but like, putting yourself in the situation where you had to hit the sleep was so bad in the first place. They were never going to cap this point. If you just sat here and were like, okay, I can't heal those two, that's fine. If they work their way back under the point, I'll heal them. Otherwise, I'll keep my tracer up. I'll put in some offensive shots. I'll keep the ball up that's going to go past me, and we'll be fine. I'm not walking across the point. You can't make me.
Get back in the
If I'm walking across the point, it's to get a nano on my Reaper, a nano on my Genji, who's then going to win the fight. It's not this.
You're powered up. Get in there. Get back in the fight.
It's a Reaper.
You're powered up. Get
That's
in
a
there.
Reaper without Wraith form that is retreating. I repeat, retreating from the fight. Doesn't even realize he's nanoed yet. Oh my goodness, is the other Winston going to jump on him? He is. I don't know which of those is worse. That you nanoed a wraithing, retreating Reaper, or that the Winston then undid your terrible play by jumping on the Nano Reaper. So here's the thing about Nano. You use Nano when your team is already, when the person who's getting nanoed is already in a fight. If a Winston jumped on someone, nanoing them could make sense. If your Reaper was already this close because he'd walked at the Winston, nanoing him would be great. Nanoing a Reaper that's super far away from everything in the hopes that he'll turn around and he'll be able to get something before the nano wears off is not a good way to nano. You got bailed out this time. You got bailed out by the Winston jumping in. But this isn't how you use nano. You can't use nano on someone who's retreating like that, and you probably panicked and nanoed him because you thought his health was a little low and you got scared for him, but he had a mercy beam, he was wraithing, he was fine, you could have hit him with a regular shot. You want to nano people when they're already in or going in, not when they're retreating. Not to tell them, hey, turn around and go back in. Temporal, is this a random VOD, or did you really spend all morning looking for the most painful thing you could find? This is a random VOD. I had people to meet this morning. I did not go looking for this. The antithesis of how Anna should be played. Oof.
This will help. My shots find their mark.
Why am I walking across the point? I mean, it doesn't matter. I have a Nano Blossom covering for me, but, like, still. Please stop jumping. Please stop jumping.
Take your medicine.
Jumping makes you a more predictable target. Anna has excuses to jump that other heroes don't, but there's still, you have to be using the specific reasons to jump. And the specific reason that Anna has to jump is she slows down when she scopes. So if you're trying to get from one side of the map to the other side of the map, you can go, hey, I'm jump scoping, I'm quick scoping, I'm doing things like this where I'm keeping my ability to move at normal speed because I jump, so I'm in the air, then I scope and shoot, and then I'm unscoped by the time I land, so I can be moving at full speed again, and I never really lose speed. That's a thing that Anna can do, and it gives her a justification to just jump, to jump sometimes, rather, that other heroes don't have. But you still don't want to just be jumpity, 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 jumpity as Anna. Every time you jump, you are on a very predictable fall arc, which makes it very easy both to hit headshots on you and to track you in general, with things like Zarya beams, Soldier shots, Tracer shots, Widow headshots, Ashe headshots, Zen headshots, all that stuff. So try to not let jump being be a habit. Lucio's different because Lucio uses walls. He is much harder to predict where he's actually going. Questionable reload.
Heal up.
I'm not even going to talk about the nade. Interesting. You're playing into Winston Ball, and you used both of your cooldowns. Interesting decision. That was low probability. It wasn't super low probability, but it wasn't great.
Heroes never die.
Who are you playing next round?
Ready for battle.
Okay. When you're playing Anna, do me a favor. Stay out of the fight. Stand back and contribute to the fight. Stand back with cover and contribute to the fight. Stand back with cover and contribute to the fight. Stop running around like a chicken with your head cut off in the middle of the fight using your abilities to try to survive. Stop running around in the middle of the fight like a chicken with your head cut off using your abilities on your teammates to try and save them. Stay out of the fight. You have a sniper rifle. You have a sniper rifle. Is this where you belong? No, this is not where you belong. This is pretty cool, but why would I drop down here? This is pretty cool, but why would I run around this fight using all of my abilities and then go, well, I spent all of my ability power and now I've got nothing? Why would I do that? That's a terrible idea. Please don't do that ever again. Now, you get forced into it a little bit more in some situations, unlike Koth, where maps are smaller, or when flankers do a good job of showing up over here and corralling you onto point, but make them earn it. Please don't go make yourself vulnerable by walking onto point yourself and using all of your abilities willy-nilly. Play further back. Play away from the fight. Contribute with your sniper rifle. Use your abilities too, don't get me wrong, but contribute with your sniper rifle. Think of Anna as a sniper. She does not want to run and gun around the point. She doesn't. You're not Reaper. Stop trying to be Reaper. Anna is not role-playing as Reaper. Not running around the point. Not a thing. Okay. Also, again, please use your nanos when the person you're nanoing is actually engaged or engaging, not when they're retreating. Glad we had this talk. Back to Lucio. Monkey jumps into Nano Reaper is also... Yeah, it is. Lucio's returned. And if Adam were here, Temporal would say... Get Lara admit I'm tagging him in for this. Maybe.
Nothing's gonna stop.
Speed. I like that we've been on speed. Cool, cool. Could have healed for a moment there. Now it's too late. Okay. Now your team is sort of stabilizing, regrouping before they're ready to push in. So you can be on speed or on heal for like 1 to 2 ticks here. And then when your team is actually ready to push like this, you do the exact wrong thing. This is exactly when you'd swap to speed for your team to push in, not when you'd finally swap to heals. You could have been on heals for like 2 seconds prior. Now you'd be swapping back to speed because now is when your team is actually, or you want your team to be ready to push through. This is what we do. We would not be in heals. We don't go, I'm going to be heals when I'm in front of the choke so I can tank it better as I'm walking through. That's not really what we're looking for. Heals just doesn't heal that much. We're instead looking for, I'm speed so that me and my teammates can take less as we actively go through the choke. Good, but why aren't you on speed?
Step to this.
Manipulating distance against Reaper is way more important than getting heals in the teens per second from your healing aura. Okay. No, play over here. This is good. And now you come back with speed. You have full health. Okay, whatever. No, you needed to boop to keep her out. Oh, great, there's a diva. Just hard aim down and boop right now. If you hard aim down and boop right now, it will mess with her a little bit. You don't boop her in. That's just giving more people to gang up on your Reinhardt. Why are you on heals? Why are you on heals? Why are you on heals as you're retreating?
I am loving this.
Sure, I guess you can be on heals inside the Lucio bubble, or inside the Winston bubble. Why not? Now can we go speed and catch up?
Oh, this is my jam.
What are we doing? What do you think you're doing with this amp heals? Who is this helping? Your Winston. You're amp healing for just your Winston. No. No. It's not very good. If you want to help your Winston right now, it's this boop. This boop is fine for helping your Winston. You don't amp heals. You can amp speed to help your Winston stay away from the Reaper. That could be cool. We're pushing, and we're pushing with heal aura up. Oh, we're getting rezzed. Okay.
Oh, let's break it. Damn. I'm too young. Oh, let's break it. Damn.
Your team is full health. Your Reinhardt is missing 30 health. What is this doing? If you want your team to push, you can spam the Z button. You can yell push all beat. But then the trick is you don't actually beat until they need it. You let them play aggressive. You make them think that you're going to beat them so that they start playing aggressive, and then you don't actually beat them unless they need it. And if they do need it, you absolutely beat them. I'm perfectly happy to beat this 4v4. I'm perfectly happy to beat this 4v4 in about 3 seconds, if necessary. But I'm wasting half of my beat here. And I'm going to end up wasting more than half of my beat because they're going to kite. Like, it's going to take us at least 3 seconds to get from here to actually fighting these guys. Because we're going to beat, they're going to back up as we walk forward because we beat, and so we're not actually going to be able to catch them and fight them until, like, here-ish. So we're going to spend 3 or 4 seconds of about our 6 seconds of beat value doing that. And again, no one was in danger of getting eliminated here. Please, please swap to speed aura and amp. Please. You have beat. You have an extra 600 health on everyone right now. Please swap to speed.
Let's move, get on the attack, or it's game over.
Overtime.
Let's get you healed up.
You heard the Winston leap. You should have looked up to boop him away. The amp heal there is fine. Speed, speed. It's a Reaper. Speed, speed to chase down to the Diva. You have a huge lead. Huge lead. And now you can be on heals.
I am rocking this objective.
I'm on 30 seconds. I'm on fire. New defense point. Objective.
Good. You booped the Winston away that time. Good. I don't know why we're on heals. I don't know why we're on heals rather than speed right now. Can you imagine how powerful your team would be right now? If you were in this situation where you had 30% damage boost to your whole team and your team had a speed boost going on, can you imagine how powerful that would be? How much raw offensive power you would have? Because congratulations, that is actually, if you're forced to run these two, that is actually how you win. You go, hey, we're going to abuse the offensive side of our kits of the speed plus the damage boost to win. And we don't have amp right now, but even regular speed plus our Valk forking like this for a bunch of damage, that gives us a chance to really push them off the point, really get some eliminations. But instead... And your whole team has health right now. Your Reinhardt's missing about 150 health, but your team is conceptually fine, and you're on healing aura. The other team can't fight you very hard right now because they're terrified of your Blossom and your extra 30% damage that your whole team has. They're not shooting at you. They're trying to run. So use speed to catch them. Healer is fine here. Amp is not. Obviously, I hate your beat. Obviously, I hate you pushing the McCree. The only saving grace to this is that you have the bubble, and then you step out of the bubble. You step out of the bubble so that he could flash and eliminate you. Team's fine, go speed. Speed will help you clean up the point faster. You will get eliminations faster. And then when no one's here, you swap back to heals.
Score 2-4. Switching sides.
Okay. I think this is I'm scared of losing more than 50 health. Could be, could be. We are really hesitant to use speed on this Lucio. So I'll sit on heals 24/7. Really, this is bronze play. No, this is reasonable gold. I don't know, man. Like this is tough to watch. And it's not tough to watch because like his mechanics are bad or his decision making is bad. Like that's fine. I expect that in gold. I expect that in gold. It's like obviously we reviewed a 800 SR maybe bronze Mercy yesterday, and it's fine. Like that's not particularly painful. This is unfortunately painful because the understanding of the kit is so wrong. Like, again, mechanical challenge, no big deal. Making some bad judgments, not tracking people well enough, all that's fine. But the understanding of when to use what in the kit is just so far wrong, which is good because it means there's so much to improve on, and it's easier to improve on some of that stuff than other stuff. But like our timing on our heal versus speed absolutely needs to be upgraded. It would be such a huge difference. And then our beat timings as well, just they're just being used because like we won the fight, let me victory beat type stuff, or we're on the point and we pushed everyone off the point, so now I'm going to beat. Like, what? No. Like maybe he heard that, or she heard, who knows, that you beat sort of later into the fight and that's a powerful beat, and that is a powerful beat, but the reason that you do it later in the fight is because you've let your team soak some damage and you beat to protect them so that they can continue soaking damage. You're beating after your team has already won the first round. The opposing team has already retreated off the point. That's not helpful. That's not helpful at all. Okay, on to bat. He did not smash cup on desk.
Everyone signed their
Yeah,
life
it's true.
insurance policies.
Okay, if they cap this, will he speed them to point 2 with their 30 seconds left? Yes. Yes, he did. But like, even when we've talked about this before, and I've had people get mad at me because I don't recognize that a Lucio is beating to BM, like we'll see this sometimes where Lucio will win a fight and then they will throw away their beat as BM. And even that at least has more value because you have a chance of tilting the enemies. That these beats aren't that.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
On commence yo.
Shoot them. You got eliminated without your 150 healing cooldown, self-healing cooldown. You got eliminated with it off of cooldown. The lamp was fine, but you press shift 2 after the lamp because even if the lamp saves you, you're going to want to have health left once the lamp's broken or once you're out of the lamp's range.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
Why are you AFK? You're typing. I get it. You're typing. But you're typing, you either reassuring the team or maybe your teammates are flaming you. I don't know which is going on right now and you're trying to defend yourself. Your typing is causing this Reaper to have twice as much health as he should. You could have easily gotten 2 bursts onto this Reaper. And I'm not talking full headshot bursts. I'm talking bursts where you sort of hit him, sort of miss him because I have a feel for what your accuracy looks like. He'd have easily half the health. If you had great aim, he'd be eliminated. But he'd easily have half the health if you'd reacted to him being here instead of typing. Typing is being AFK. Say it in voice chat or don't say it at all. Dead serious. And if you don't want to be in voice chat, that's totally fine. I have no objection to that whatsoever. But you don't then compensate for that by typing. You just accept that you aren't in communication with your team and you have to read them. Oh yeah, it looks like you and Reinhardt were flaming each other. Okay. Or maybe you were having a polite conversation. I don't know. That shift doesn't really help him as much as you think it does. Sure. Get behind him. Get behind you, Reinhardt. Don't be...
This is not the end. I'm on fire.
Reload. Reload. Stop typing and reload.
I could use some assistance.
Seriously? You recognize that your positioning just forced you on lamp, right? Like, because you're standing dead in the center here, as opposed to one side, you flinched, you got scared, and you lamped yourself against High Noon. This is purely a positional error, and you cost yourself a cooldown, an ultimate level cooldown in lamp. 25-second cooldown. That is a very, very, very powerful cooldown. I mean, I suppose the length of time it has doesn't necessitate its power, but from a balance perspective, a lot of Bap's power is tied up in his lamp. And you just had to self-use that because your positioning was not remotely near cover. Window, yep. Fine. You need some damage. You have to get an elimination with this. Good. Oh, purple, so you still lose. Reasonable effort. Would have been nice to lamp before we got eliminated, but hey.
Heroes never die.
C'est tant comme bon monde qui a veillé sur moi.
Hello from Indonesia. Hey, Freddy. Hey, Freddy. Hope you're doing well in Indonesia. So why did we go to point? Did we have to touch? Not in the slightest. We did not have to touch in the slightest. Why? Why are we walking onto the point? 4. The only benefit to us being on the point right now is that we get Mercy's Valk. But like that High Noon instantly changed my mind on wanting to go to the point. Instantly. I don't want to be on this point. I don't want to be on this point at all. Hey, Fusion. Oh my goodness, why does this High Noon keep getting lamps? Oh, good, good. Our positioning's better. Not so sure about that reload. Prioritize the healing. You need both. Prioritize the healing. Good.
Let me show you how it's done.
No, you need that stagger. Okay, guess we're not getting the stagger.
30 seconds remaining.
Oh no. Now you need that stagger even worse. And it's not happening. Prepare to window. Lamp, 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 and window. Window.
Let them up.
Thank you. Much obliged.
Okay. Stop typing. Stop being AFK, because that's what typing is. Again, we don't actually want you in the middle of the fight. Similar to, you're not as bad on it as Bap as you were on Anna, but you don't want to be in the middle of the fight on either of those heroes. It's not where you want to be. The high ground is better. Please don't stand away from your cover. Please do have your cover available. But in general, that was better. And obviously stop getting eliminated with one or both of your defensive cooldowns available.
Ready for battle.
Like, yes, it sucks to use lamp just to protect yourself, but it's better to use lamp to protect yourself than to get eliminated. You also, it sucks to use lamp and shift at the same time, but it's better to use them both at the same time than to get eliminated. Just at a career high. Oh, excellent, Fusion. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm glad that things are going well for you. Oh shoot. No, we're okay. Okay. Speed is still good for breaking chokes, better than heals.
Time to accelerate.
30 seconds.
Leave, 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 leave. What are you doing? There's no one in a position to take advantage of you doing that. Congrats, you're setting up your Reaper for a 2v6. Let's not do that. You're gonna go to points.
Party on the objective.
You're early. You can leave. You can leave. You touched it. You'll get overtime. You didn't leave. Okay. Nothing new there. Nothing new.
To 4.
You were simply backwards on your speed versus heal timing.
Initiating match. Ready for battle.
If I'm not in the mood to be in voice chat, I just turn off both chats entirely. The odds of me seeing something that tilts me greater than the odds of seeing something useful. Yep! Totally makes sense to do it that way. Totally makes sense. You were hoping to see Moira? Might have worked.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
You're fully healed.
Nope, don't turn that hard.
Regen breath activated.
Really questioning why you felt the need to drop into that. Like, okay, you turn and shoot. You've got plenty before they get to the tick. Why are you contesting? You can do a really good job of propping up, say, your Reinhardt on the point, propping up, say, your Diva on the point. You do not do a great job of surviving yourself on the point. You do an okay job between your shift and your lamp, but, like, you can keep other people up on the point so much better than you can contest points. You want to put them in a situation where they have to go, we have to eliminate a Diva, for example, that's getting pocketed by a BAP on the point, so we're going to be in a situation where we either have to leave point to go deal with the BAP, or we have to take a Diva down on point through a BAP healing her. So they have to pick between you and the point. That's what you want. You don't want to go to point because now they get to be on the point while they're shredding you. We don't like that. We don't like that because the point is a place they want to be, and on top of you are a place that they want to be. So don't put both of those in the same place. Don't go be first person to contest here.
Regen burst activated.
Now what are you going to do? You got no cooldowns. Your team wins it hard enough. His cleave hits both and eliminates the lamp long before you, so you just... Yeah, I know. Well, you can drop it for Monkey, but you have to drop it much later for Monkey. You have to drop it when you're
10
weak.
seconds.
But yes. No comment on his lack of waves. Ah. I'm not saying he doesn't need to weave. I'm just laughing because the reason I'm not commenting on his weaves is because, or his lack thereof weaves, is because like he needs to get out of the fight first. He needs to not just be I'm doing this above the fight thing. I'm doing this on the point run around thing. Like this is so much more important than his weaves. But yes, the appropriate way to play BAP, and part of why you play BAP from preferably above and behind your team, is you want to put yourself in situations where you're on high ground and you can go, hey, I am able to weave my left clicks between my right clicks. Your right clicks on BAP have a mandatory fire delay to them, a rate of fire that's relatively slow, and it allows you to get 2 left clicks easily in between right clicks. You can even sometimes go for 3 if you want, though you will hit a little delay between your right clicks. Right clicks are X's, left clicks are pluses in this scenario. It'll cause a little delay versus if you go like this, you'll have then a tiny bit of dead space after the second one, and then your right click. And also, you could go like this and just put 1 heal here and have this, and it would be the same speed. The reason you might do this instead of this is because what actually happens is aiming takes time. Moving your crosshair between the targets takes a little time, so you might do this to understand it, etc. But on BAP, you really have to get value out of your left clicks. You have to get value out of your damage while not throwing away your healing. You need to be doing, hey, I'm getting my healing as often as I can when people need it, but I'm also getting extra damage in there to swing the fight, because my healing will not keep people up forever. It's only 50 to 70 a shot. It will not keep people up forever. So I also have to put damage pressure on the other side to help me sort of win the sustained battle in that way. I'm hitting the sustained battle from a damage standpoint and a healing standpoint to put my team in the lead. Not just a healing standpoint, not just a damage standpoint. I'm maximizing my uptime of contribution.
You all look like you needed some healing. I'm on fire.
Okay.
Ready for battle.
Okay. I've covered more than everything I want to cover in this game. So, Lucio. Speed for breaking chokes. More speed in general. Heals in the poke phase, and heals when there's no opponents available. But speed when we're using ults, speed to break chokes, speed when your team is pushing, speed way more often. Beats are used when someone is actually missing health. Might be in reaction to someone getting ulted, might be in reaction to someone getting pinned, might be in reaction to someone just getting chunked down by a tank, might be as a result of you telling your team to push hard, and then you saving them with an ult. So turning your defensive ult into an offensive ult. But you're still using it when someone is actually in danger. That's what we're doing with our beats. We're not just like beating on point just cuz. When we beat, it's an ult, we should generally be on speed because it's giving us a power play where our team has an extra 700 health to go run people over. We would like them to have the speed to run people over before all that temporary health fades away. It's very important that we speed during this. Anna and BAP. Stop running around through the fight just using your cooldowns willy-nilly. Stand back, or on high ground, and contribute. Contribute from outside of the fight. Don't run around the middle of the fight. Not Reaper. Not Reaper. Stand back and contribute. Please. Please. We could get into more on nano. We could get into more on lamp usage. We are going to talk about please use cover better as well when you're playing these heroes. You should not have so many lamps forced by high noons. You might still use lamps on high noons to save teammates, but it should not be necessary to lamp yourself to save yourself from high noons when you're in those situations, your positioning is just terrible. Know where your cover is. I don't want to give you more than that. I want you to work through each of these one at a time, not all of them, one at a time. And I want you to use somewhere between 5 and 15% of your brain power while playing the game to work through your selected topic. And just work on that one topic until you have some level of mastery of that topic, until that topic sticks for you even when you stop thinking about it. And then go move on to the next topic. One topic at a time with 5 to 15% of your brain power. Once it's locked in there, move on to working on the next topic. If you start to play a little worse while you're learning something, while you're working on something, while you're using this brain power here instead of on aiming, instead of on strategy, that's fine. Once you've got it locked in, you'll have that brain power back either to use on those things again or to work on the next thing. So that's what we're doing. If you have questions, go ahead and throw them up in chat now. If you guys are enjoying my pain, because that's clearly what this is, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what the rates look like, and all that good stuff. And I know I was harsh on you for a gold player. Like, I definitely was harsh on you for a gold player. Again, that is good. That means that there are things that are painful for me to see because they're relatively easy to correct. It's not like, oh, I snap my fingers and you'll have all these things corrected tomorrow, but these are relatively easy to correct. You just have a fatally flawed understanding of the heroes and how the game works, but fixing that is easier than making your aim better, than upping your reaction time to react to a Winston jumping in, things like that. So easy work, relatively speaking, to get big gains. That said, this will not be a tomorrow thing. You are still going to have to work at this if you want to see these improvements. Okay, let's go ahead and catch up on chat here. I think we've done a pretty good job keeping pace, so there shouldn't be much. But if you guys have more questions, comments that you want to throw up there, do that now. There's so much wrong. Temporal's list of 95 things he needs to fix. No, Temporal's not going to do that. Temporal's going to hold himself back. And that's just Lucio. There's also 300 for Anna, and I think about 142 for Pap. If we did this Angry Llama style, the whole screen would be covered with sticky notes 100%. 3 to 4 packages, sticky notes. Llama would have called it quits by now. That's true. Any tips for second support if you get this type of Lucio player? Swap to Moira. Swap to Moira, tell your team we're all-inning every push. Because even if he's not going to give you speed, the way this Lucio player was playing aggressively and things like that, you just want to all-in every time. Like, you'd really like speed for your all-inning every time, but it would be we're just going to all press W together every time, and we'll play around how aggressive this Lucio wants to play on Healing Aura, unfortunately, and we'll do that. And if you can micro his beat, so be it. If you think it's important enough for you to call his beat timings, call his beat timings. Might tilt him, might get him to not do it. That's a gamble that you have to take. Do you have the brain space free to call his beat timings? And is he more likely to just tilt out on you completely? How has his emotion been managed? How have you managed this other player's emotion? What is their state? I'm not in voice comms, I can't tell you. But if I was really worried as the other support, I might call their beat timings. Okay. I think that's gonna do it. Thanks, guys, and that's gonna do it for now. I'll put more stuff up later, but I'm done streaming for right now. Thanks.